Hey, social media. This is Tiffany Martinez. Um, Today marks 30 days since my husband expired. Um, and I just wanted to document this day only because I just see changes within myself, inside and out. Um, like, I see things on my skin that, like, my skin tone is starting to, like, change that wasn't there before. And I know that it's all because of the stress and the loss of my husband. And I worked very hard to be on the level of happiness that I just worked towards throughout the years that Henry and I shared together. And if you actually give a damn about me, and you have been paying attention to my journey, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. Just seeing through my old pictures, and I noticed that the basically whenever I'm stressing or just going through something, you can see it on the outside, not just because a person is crying. It's always been like that. And I noticed that these dark marks are coming back on my skin. And even underneath my nose. And it wasn't like that. It was just improving. Everything was just getting better. And I just see these things that are just changing. And I've always been like that ever since I was just a very small little girl. My mother shares the story with me. I don't forget if I was either 3 or 5, but she always tells the story, and she always tells it the same way about me. That I was outside, and this dog basically, it jumps in front of me and it scares me. And I believe it was my right eye. I can't remember which eye it was, but the entire eye turns white because it just scared me. So it was like a defense mechanism. But obviously my eye turned back the way it was supposed to. But it was nothing that the doctor could do to fix it. It was only going to get better until Tiffany was ready for it to get better. And I don't think that this is ever going to get better. So, and this is definitely the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with. Like I said, I've been married before, so it was a little hard to know that I was gonna get a divorce, but like Henry just came into my life and he fixed literally everything. He fixed everything. And I was very broken at that time. Especially when someone tells you that basically you're nothing. And this is back in the AOL days when we didn't really have smartphones. We had cell phones, but we didn't have smartphones, right? So you had to either wait until, if you had that type of technology, that if you had a webcam, which we didn't have all the fancy equipment, so we had to wait until our pictures came into the mail, like through the postal service. We had to wait. So, but Henry didn't care. He saw me for me, and I saw him for him. Through, we saw each other through the phone. Like, just we saw each other's souls, and we didn't need to see each other's faces to to know that we loved each other. So this is like an indescribable pain that I just don't see. Basically what they say, a hope or a light at the end of the tunnel type thing. I just don't see that for me. And I've seen a lot of things, in my life. I just don't see this for me. So I just see myself, basically growing old. And, whenever it's my time to expire, then I get to see Henry again. That's what I see for Tiffany. Because somebody has to stay here and take care of the fur kids, which some of you guys don't think much of that. You think of them as just cats, because you were fortunate enough to have children. And I'm not hating on you for, or jealous of you because, you were blessed enough to have children. I never was like that. I was very grateful to at least have Henry, because he was everything to me. Absolutely everything. So I would never understand, and I would never understand, and I would never accept why this happened to me. I would never understand that. I would never accept it because it didn't have to happen like this. So, anyways, I just wanted to document this day because I don't like what I see right now because I worked very hard, to basically pick myself up from everything I've been through in my entire life to ultimately get crushed in the end. Yeah, to ultimately get crushed in the end. There is no purpose for this other than humiliation. There is no other purpose for that other than to show other people to start to appreciate their lives and to celebrate life every day and to stop basically worrying about these commercial holidays, which I've been saying that. But apparently someone else needs to learn something from this because I didn't need to learn nothing from this because I already appreciated what I had every single day. From my car to our home. We didn't go for the big home. We went for what we needed and what was enough for us. So somebody out here needs to see this. Someone out here needs to hear this because I don't know what your goals are, but I don't know what it is, but someone needs to hear this, they need to see this, and they need to feel this. And it's not me. And I feel like I'm being punished or used as an example for someone else's lesson. And the last thing I'm just going to mention, if you haven't at least given your condolences, regardless of how you feel about me, Henry was an amazing person. You could have at least, it's too late now. It's too late now. Because he's been gone 30 days to date. 30 days. You could have at least said something nice about Henry. I mean, do you know how painful it is for your in-laws to ghost you on the day that your husband, basically, he dies? I mean, do you know how that makes me feel? And the people that I've known all my life, they just leave me, But, it keeps coming back to me, my husband, he keeps telling me, I can hear his voice, it doesn't matter, Tiff, I still love you, I'm here for you. Only thing is, I don't see him. That's the only thing. And I know the people who love me. I know the people who actually give a damn about me. I know that. And I'm very surprised and I'm very humbled by the people who actually did, share my, the GoFundMe. And I'm even more surprised by the people who, that did donate. I'm just surprised and I'm very grateful. And in the future, I'm never going to forget that. I'm never going to forget that, because you didn't have to do that. And you did. And there's people that I did expect to help me that didn't. And it's like, I didn't, my husband didn't want a funeral. He didn't want to be put into the earth. He wanted to be cremated, just like I did. And do you know how a cremation works? It's time is of the essence. And it seems, if I just feel you, and it's like, you were more concerned about a holiday. So, and yes, this is my responsibility. Yes, it was our responsibility. So, if you're in the same position as me, you have to get your final affairs in order. Because otherwise, this is going to be you, and this is going to be your children trying to, basically prepare, your final wishes. And no one's going to help them. It's going to be very difficult. And all these years, I've been, I've been trying to help you guys, and sharing, the opportunities with you on how to save a little bit of silver every month. And that's the whole point of saving the silver. And so when this tragic day comes, your family don't have to ask anybody for anything. They don't have to ask anybody for anything. That's when you go to that silver and you go to that gold, and you go into your family safe, and you say, look, I'm going to take out X amount of silver pieces, and I'm going to sell it so I can go do, what I need to do today, which is the cremation, or whatever final affairs that you wanted for yourself, or, whatever the situation is. And that's what my husband and I, we were working towards. But a lot of you guys have it twisted. You hear wealth building, you hear all this positivity, and you thought we were already where we need to be because we had that mentality. So, I'm not going to make this about the future thing, but you already know that's what it is. So if you don't want to be in this position the way I am, then, or your children, then do that. And some people will say, well, I have a life insurance policy. That's not enough. Because, once that paper is gone, it's gone. And it's not even about the amount of money that I could potentially basically raise or generate. I would do anything just to have my husband back with me today. Anything. And even that, I would just do almost anything just to reset the clock 20 more times, to have 20 more years. Which will give me more time, because I do believe that sometimes, the same outcome will still be the same. So that being said, I would just love to be able to reset the clock to back to December of 2001 and start over again. That's what I would like. That's what I would like. Just more time to reset the clock. To meet Henry all over again. That's what I would like. And, I probably wouldn't do anything necessarily different except for, just spend more time with him. Even though we spend every single day together.